All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 008-238B, State versus Roger Mems. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
James Tochi for Mr. Mems, Judge.
All right, you entered a plea bargaining agreement of no contest to counts 4 and counts 5. According to the plea, counts 4 and 5 are to run concurrently. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine and the state is opposed to your application. For the state? All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No, ma'am.
State, do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, just the evidence.
All right, defense, any witnesses?
Judge, I do. Mr. Mems is going to provide some information to the court this morning. I don't know if you wish to do it now.
You want to raise your right hand?
Just here.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Mems.
All right, you may proceed, defense.
Thank you very much, Judge. Mr. Mems, Judge Boyd obviously knows your name. Let's just give a little bit of background. Where are you from?
San Antonio, Texas, sir.
Okay. Are you born and raised?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Obviously, you know why you are here and what is going to be happening this morning before Judge Boyd.
Yes, sir.
Tell Judge Boyd, we've already looked through the PSI. Tell Judge Boyd just kind of a little bit about you and your makeup and your upbringing, and then we'll slowly get into some of the things that you've had to deal with in your life. No, just about you. Where were you educated? How far did you get in school?
I graduated at Southwest High School. After that I went into Northwest Vista to do my basics basically for nursing, and I didn't get too far because I had problems with the landlord. I couldn't really pay for my books or anything like that, so I had put that to hold, and from there I just kind of, I guess I was distracted with not being in school or educated, or my mind wasn't really at the right. I've been through a lot of stuff, and just really couldn't really like get to where I wanted to be because of my stupidity and just the way kind of I was living. And I take full responsibility for my actions and wherever I've led up to and how I led up to. So
Let me stop you real quick. How old are you, Ryan?
I'm 30 years old, sir.
Did you graduate from this school?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you ever go to college?
Yes, sir. Northwest Vista and Southern Careers, sorry.
Did you ever finish or complete or receive any certifications or degrees?
No, I didn't get to.
Do you have children?
No, sir.
Now in the PSI, it details some of the things in the past that are part of your criminal background. We've gone over those.
Yes, sir.
You have been on felony probation before, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were able to. I'm sure the state will ask you some questions about that. Let's kind of move a little bit into this area. So there is a co-defendant that's part of this case that has already been before Judge Boyd. Her name is Tiffany Vasquez, I believe. When did you meet her?
I had met her from high school. I didn't really know her like that. Like 2023, yeah. I want to say like 2020 or 2023.
Describe the nature of your relationship with her.
It was not good at all. It was not good at all, to be honest. Always arguing, being lied to, it just weren't equal. We didn't make no sense to be together. We just couldn't coexist, Your Honor.
And tell the judge a little bit about, now, do you believe you have PTSD?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever actually been diagnosed?
No, sir.
Okay. Why do you believe you have PTSD?
Just all my trauma, the trauma I've been through, just when I'm growing up, I've seen a lot of stuff, you know, seen on the hands put on her. We'd have to run from, you know, my dad. Like I've seen a lot of death in my family, some friends passing, you know. And with that, it just brought a lot of. It was very hard for me to just walk the straight path, to be honest. It was really things in my mind I could never think straight. Like,
Were you exposed to violence when you were in your teen and
I want to say
Grow-
I was
growing-
around people that were not good for me, to be
Okay.
honest. Yes,
I'm going to show you a picture, Roger. I've already shared it with the prosecutors. Do you recognize that?
yes, that's me.
Okay. Judge, I would like for you to, well, I'd like to offer defendants one into evidence. I've already shared with the state. And I could share it with the court. What is Judge Boyd looking at in this picture, Roger?
Me on life support.
When was that?
2018, April 10th.
Okay. And how did that happen?
I was at a park and I got shot at AK.
Okay. Was a case filed on your behalf?
Yes, it was. I just didn't go on board with the pressing charges.
Okay. Why is that?
Just being threatened. You know, threatening to keep the house up, and now it's my mom's house.
So the person that was charged with shooting you was indicted, but the case ultimately dismissed.
Yes,
And that is because you were being threatened.
yes.
Does this kind of make up part of your mental makeup and what you believe to be your PTSD?
About 80%, yes, sir.
Let's get back to Tiffany and let's start kind of honing in on this particular evening. How long had it been since you had spoken to Tiffany before you got with her on this particular night?
About 6-7 months. No
So
communication with her at all. I deleted her number, blocked her.
were you aware that there was what is called a protective order that had been put in place for the two of you?
I want to say yes, but I never received any. I want to say yes.
Okay. You do recall receiving paperwork,
Yes.
but after that, did anyone follow up with you?
No, not at all. Not after that. No.
And had you seen Tiffany?
No, I haven't. Only on that date.
Why were you with her on this night?
She actually called me from a Text Me Now app and begged me to if I could take a ride with her. Basically, you know, try to talk to her and stuff, but it led up to being a whole nother ball game. It was way out of what she told me it was gonna be, and it led to that.
So you went with her.
Yes, sir.
That was a mistake.
Very.
Did you know where you were going or the purpose of her bringing you?
No, I didn't. She told me that it was her baby daddy's girlfriend or something like that. That if I could she was gonna talk to her, and so I jumped in a car, you know. I took my firearm on my behalf. I didn't know that was gonna happen. That's just something I normally do, is take my firearm everywhere I go. To be honest.
Were you asked to bring a firearm?
No, sir, I was not.
Okay.
She didn't know I had it until everything started happening.
Who is she?
Tiffany Martinez.
So what happened? Tell Judge Boyd, you guys are driving around. Were you following a car?
Yes. Following a car, got past Marbach, got past Ingram. We were going all the way, so but 3 stops, I told her we need to turn this car around. I think it's not a good idea, like something's gonna lead bad. So we kept going. She refused to turn the car off. She, please just go with me, please just go with me. I said, okay. After that, she said she would never talk to me again. She'll leave me alone. I went with her. We came to Thousand Oaks by the airport. We drove, and that's when everything happened, when we came to a stop in Henderson Pass somewhere.
Okay. So did Tiffany stop the car?
No, the girl was already out of the car, actually getting out.
Okay.
And she said she was gonna have words with her, and
Did you get out of the car?
no, I never got out of the car until the brawl started.
Okay. And is that what happened? Did it brawl?
Yes, Tiffany punched the girl a couple of times for no reason.
What did you do?
I told them to stop. I tried to break it up about 6 or 7 times before I just charged the firearm in the air.
Okay. Okay. let's kind of slow a little down on the sequence.
Sure.
Did you get involved in, well, I'm gonna call it a melee. Did you get involved in the melee?
Yeah, I separated them several times. I was in the like, you know, I've even had a conversation with the girl trying to calm her down, like, hey, I'm so sorry this happened to me. Started up again.
So your involvement was to break it up?
Yeah, peacemaking,
Okay.
obviously.
Now, did you at any time strike
No,
the,
no,
the young lady?
just only pulling them back. You know, of course, I was kind of aggressive, but I was just pushing them back. You know, I couldn't handle two in one swing and then one swinging back. I couldn't handle
Wa-
that.
Was there a point in time when the two girls stopped fighting, you know, everybody has separated, and you guys are actually talking
Yeah. me and the girl.
about what's going on?
Yes, me and the girl.
And I know that the judge has read the stipulations, but the reality is Tiffany went over there believing that that girl was involved with her boyfriend.
He was totally innocent.
Okay.
Yes,
But was that true?
that's what Tiffany was saying.
But was it true?
Yes, that she went to go.
Was it true that she was involved with Tiffany's boyfriend?
No, she was never. She didn't
Okay.
know who. She had no clue who Tiffany or I was.
Okay. Did you know that girl?
I never seen her in my life.
Did you have any reason to go over there and want to hurt her?
No, was not trying to harm none of them.
Did you have any reason to go over there, threaten her to take property?
No,
Okay. And did you actually do any of those?
no.
At some point, were you having a conversation with the girl about what was going on and
Yeah.
why you were there?
Yes,
Okay. And the reality is, Roger, were you mistaken yourself when you're having these conversations? Did you know that she hadn't been with Tiffany's boyfriend? Or did you assume that to be true?
I believed her from the start because she was very serious. I didn't. She showed her a picture to Tiffany of who her baby daddy or who she was dating was.
Right.
She was very honest. I believed her 100%. Like she didn't have no clue who Tiffany or I was. She did not know us. She didn't know what was going on. She was very lost.
Did there come a point in time when the two girls started fighting again?
Yes.
And again, to be clear, that was the two girls. You were not fighting
No.
with the young lady.
No, at this point, I was standing by the car as they were brawling.
What did you do at that point?
So at this point, that's when belongings started getting taken, and stopped the fight. Obviously, gave the girl her purse back because obviously she snatched the purse and the phone. I was looking for the phone. I was looking for the girl's glasses, Tiffany's glasses. Obviously, trying to find everybody's stuff. As I'm looking for the glasses, they're in the street fighting again. You know what I mean? At this point, I got the purse. I put the purse right there on the thing. Tiffany grabbed the purse, threw it in the car. Phone, took it in the car. You know what I mean? I just,
So at some point, there was a gun
yes,
that was taken out.
yes, my gun.
What was the purpose of that?
I was scared him and I shot it and I told him I wanted him like, hey, I'm gonna shoot the gun in the air if y'all don't stop. That's exactly the words I said. And I let it off. I let the firearm go. They stopped fighting. And the girl took a picture of the license plate and Tiffany snatched the phone.
Did you take any of her property?
No, no.
Did her phone end up in the car you were
The
in?
phone was in Tiffany's lap.
Okay, and that's because Tiffany.
She took the phone.
Okay. Now that we're 2 years away from all that, we've talked about this kind of looking back on that situation. I mean, how do you feel about that girl in particular and what happened?
She didn't deserve it. She was innocent. I feel very bad for her to this day. I feel very bad. Like, just imagine somebody just running up on you, trying to get home. You know, you don't know who these people are. You can possibly get hurt. You don't know. Like, yes, I'm very sorry for what happened to her.
Okay.
She did not deserve it.
Now, you and I know from reading the police reports and watching what she told the police,
Yes,
you know that she told the police that she believes you were involved in part of the assault, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, did you assault her?
No, I was only pulling her off of Tiffany.
Since that incident, obviously you haven't had been arrested for anything, correct?
Yes.
And then, Judge, I'd like for the court, or I'd like to offer defendants 1, 2, and 3 into evidence. If I may, I've already shared with the state. I don't believe they have objection to it.
The court will accept into evidence defendants 1, 2, and 3.
Who are the children depicted in these pictures, Roger?
Those are my stepboys.
Okay, now you're not married, but you
No.
have a serious relationship.
Yes, yes.
Is it a healthy relationship?
Very healthy.
Is she here in court today?
Yes, sir.
Where these young men in the picture, where's their father?
He's passed away.
Okay. So they kind of look to you as a father
Yes.
figure at this point.
They do. They didn't really get to know him like that. They didn't really get to know him.
Okay. And do you feel kind of like their father?
Yes, at this point, I'm 100%. I feel I take responsibility 100%. How they even grow up now. Yes, sir.
Now, the judge has a big decision to make. She can put you on probation. She can also send you to prison. If she were to allow you on probation, do you feel that you could do the things that you need to do to be successful?
100%.
Um, all right, Judge, for now, I believe that's all the questions I have, and I'll pass the witness to Ms. Calloway.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mems, so we kind of talk about the road that led you to where you are right now. Okay, and so if we look at that road, right, you were on juvenile deferred adjudication for about a year for one charge, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then in 2010, you were placed on juvenile probation for another charge, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then in 2013, you're placed on deferred adjudication for resisting arrest, and that was in county court 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then in 2016, you're placed on felony deferred adjudication for attempted deadly conduct with a firearm, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and during that deferred adjudication, you did pick up a new charge, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and a motion to revoke your probation was filed, correct?
yes, ma'am.
And the judge decided to continue you.
Yes.
And then you picked up another MTR for testing positive for substances, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then ultimately the judge decided to continue you again, and then the case was dismissed for adjudication, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then in 2018, you're placed on deferred adjudication. And I guess it's running concurrently with the deadly firearm, but you're placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 while on deferred adjudication for deadly conduct. And in 2018, that new offense that you picked up was hindering apprehension of a felon. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then we have failed to ID from 2016 that you were placed on probation for in Comal County. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then ultimately you were revoked and sentenced to 140 days in the Comal County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then you had an assault bodily injury in 2016 as well in Comal County that they fled down to a lesser charge.
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so if we're talking about, I want to talk to you about Tiffany, because did y'all meet when y'all were in high school at Southwest High School?
I just knew who she was. We didn't never talk.
Okay.
We went to the same school. Like I
Okay.
knew who she was. She knew who I was. I was obviously athletic, so she knew I was one of the stars,
And so y'all just knew each other when you were at Southwest High School, but then later on y'all kind of.
Excuse me, just one moment. Mr. Porter, could you review that state has and with Mr. McRae? All right, you may continue. Thank you.
And so then I guess after high school, y'all kind of start having some type of romantic relationship.
Just like 21, I want to say.
Okay. And then that doesn't work out, and then she leaves the relationship and goes with her baby daddy.
Yes.
Okay. And so I guess throughout that time, are you saying that you didn't have any communication with her? Or was it kind of like a back and forth thing, or what?
Well, she always lived with him. Like it was just like lies. I just had to catch her, so that's what made us really fall off the map.
Okay. And then in 2022, she files for that protective order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are you aware that the basis for that was that she was alleging that you had assaulted her
Yes.
and said that your homeboys were gonna shoot up her and her mom?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you're saying that you were aware that you were served with paperwork for the protective order, but then nobody followed up with you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they came one time. They did come to my house. It was a constable. Came
Okay.
one time.
And so what they served you with was the temporary protective order that gives you the date to show up to court,
Yes.
right? And so you didn't show up in court, and then that's how that default judgment occurred, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right, off the record for a moment. Do y'all have any objections to releasing that person? On the note, Did you open it and read it?
Oh, I read this side.
All right, sorry about that. We're back on the record.
And so then that default judgment is entered, and so that's for you all to not have contact with
Yes,
each other
ma'am.
at all.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we come to the date of the offense, and then does she communicate with you by phone, or how does she?
Text now.
Okay, and so what was the conversation?
Asked me to come here. I don't remember. It was totally different from when I jumped in the car. Just to come and talk with her, and then she let me know what was really going on as soon as I jumped in the car.
Okay, so then she let you know once you're in the car that Santos, that's her big daddy, correct? That she suspected that he was messing around with another girl
Yes.
and that she wanted to go roll up on that girl, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so she had what, a white motor vehicle at the time?
It was a blue Taurus.
Oh.
Yeah, like a blue Taurus.
Okay, and so she's driving the motor vehicle and you're in the passenger seat, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have your firearm, correct?
Yes.
And so then she drives to Santos' house, and that's initially where she sees the girl, the victim in this case.
I wasn't in the car at that time when she was doing all that. She had came and get me, and when we came to the light on Medina Base, that's when she saw the car and we followed the car.
Okay, so you're aware that she testified, that's what she said?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah, of
and that's
course.
not what the girl said?
Yeah, I wasn't in, cause I don't really. Well, it's like, I can't put that in there, but they used to follow me around like the baby daddy and the dad type stuff, you know what I mean? Trying to see who I was. So I didn't go around their people's place like that. They had kids and stuff. I wasn't into all that.
Okay.
It's
So
just as
you're
soon as I
saying-
jumped in the car, we got to Medina Base, and that's when we started following the white car. Like, you get me, Medina Base is Elm Valley, coming down, it's Medina Base. I live on Medina Base. You know what I mean? It's literally walking distance. Like, I could literally get there like that, like.
So then after she scoped Bianca out at Santos, across from Santos'
Yeah.
house, then it's your testimony that she went and stopped and picked you up and then resumed following the car?
Yes,
That's what
pick
you're
me up,
saying?
yes, she picked me
Okay.
up.
Okay, so notwithstanding that, then you all end up at the victim's home,
Yes,
correct?
yes,
Okay, and when you all arrive at the victim's home, Tiffany gets out of the car and punches the victim, correct?
yes, ma'am,
And they're engaged in an altercation, correct?
yes, ma'am,
And you're saying that you were trying to separate.
yes, several times,
Okay.
like 6, 7 times,
Okay.
5 or 6 times.
And so you said that you don't know the victim in this case,
No,
correct?
no,
And that you've never seen her before,
never in
correct?
my life.
And so why, she has no incentive to make up anything about you, correct?
No,
So then why would she tell the police that you curb stomped her?
exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, I'm strong. So just imagine me putting somebody's face on the curb and what do you know what I mean? She'll lose teeth, all that.
I mean, her lip was busted.
Yeah,
You
but
see
from
the
Tiffany,
pictures?
yeah, it was a baby bust.
Okay,
Yeah,
a
of course, I seen the
baby
video.
bust?
Yeah,
It's a baby bust?
well, I don't know how to really tell you, but I didn't punch her. I don't punch women. I just can't tell you that part,
You don't punch women.
I
but
don't.
Tiffany's made reports.
that I punched her,
that
right?
You assaulted her.
Yeah,
correct?
and that I tried to kill her and the most and all this and that, but
So is it?
Why
your
would she-
testimony-
she obviously
Let me-
trusts me, right?
Let
So-
me ask you a question. So it's your testimony that just all these females make up these accusations?
I don't know all
against
these
you?
females. I just know Tiffany. I don't know the other girl. I just know Tiffany and what I've been through with her, to be honest.
And so while Tiffany is engaging in this physical altercation with the victim, you're saying you didn't curb stomp her, but you pull your firearm out, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and you fire your firearm. You're not
Yes.
disputing that, right?
fighter.
And in fact, there's Ring doorbell camera that catches the
Yeah,
audio
yes,
of
alright.
it, and the victim is yelling, please, please stop.
Yes.
And y'all are not stopping, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then at that point, that's when the victim goes to try to take the picture of Tiffany's license plate, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Tiffany snatches the phone from her,
Yes, ma'am.
and then y'all both get back in the motor vehicle and take off.
No, they fought actually one more time in the street.
Okay. But Tiffany ended up with the cell phone in the vehicle when y'all left, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then when y'all are on the way back to wherever you're going, then that's when the car crash happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so it was your testimony that basically you just went with Tiffany because she said after this, she would leave you alone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
To be honest.
but you're aware that when y'all got in that car crash, that multiple police officers showed up on scene, correct?
Yes,
And do you recall what you were doing?
yes.
Okay, what were you doing?
Hugging her and stuff.
You were hugging
Kissing
on
her.
her and kissing on her
Yes.
and rubbing her buttocks. You recall that?
Yes,
Okay, and that doesn't look like somebody that wants to leave someone alone, right?
yes,
Okay, and then in fact, then when you're picked up on the warrant for this, you call her from the Bear County Jail,
yes,
right? And you're
Yes.
telling her, I love you. Don't worry about this. You don't have to apologize for this. You recall that, right?
I told her I was gonna take accountability. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, and so how do you reconcile that with the fact that you're saying that you just went to never have contact with her again?
Because I wasn't contacting her, she contacted me. No, I didn't. I wasn't going out of my way to contact her no more. To be honest, no. I jumped in a car, made a dumb choice, very dumb choice, obviously. I know I blame myself. To be honest, I just really do.
All right, and then you're currently residing with your mom? Is that what you told PSI officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and your mom is another person that you talked to while you're in Bear County Jail, correct?
Yes,
And when you spoke with her, you had already known that the police were looking for you regarding what
Yes,
happened
ma'am.
with Tiffany, right?
yes, of course, of
Okay,
course.
and so you told her that you were anticipating to get picked up on this and that it really wasn't a big deal, right? For her
Well,
not to
because I
worry
didn't-
about it?
Well, because I didn't do all the stuff y'all telling me I did, like curb stomping her and stuff. Yeah, of course, I was telling her that, of course.
Okay, and then I guess you mentioned in the PSI too, but that your mom doesn't really like Tiffany.
Never. She's got videos of her pulling up, making her leave. You know, my mom's a Jehovah's Witness, so all the stuff that I did out there. I never did it around my mom. No.
Fair enough. And so then, when we look back at your probation that you were on in 2018, it looks like you had some problems with smoking marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so you've been on bond in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you told the PSI officer that the last time that you used marijuana was in 2025. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And that's while you were on bond for this case?
I don't recall that. I just know I told her I was smoking 2025.
And so I guess in the rendition that you gave of the facts to the PSI officer, basically what you said is that you were just trying to be a peacemaker.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, I mean, you described yourself as a big man, is that what you said?
I mean, I know what's right and what's wrong. You know that I like from the get when I had the conversation with the girl, I knew it wasn't right. Like, you know what I mean? I just
But I
turned
guess
it up.
what I'm getting at is like Tiffany and the victim in the case are both smaller than you.
Yeah,
right?
of course, of
Okay.
course.
And so it's your testimony that in trying to separate two small females, you and your size and stature, that you needed a firearm to do that?
Well, they didn't. I didn't want to punch them or put my hands on them like that. I thought it would really scare them, to be honest. And they did. They separated and they didn't fight again. We jumped in the car, like you said, and we got past the airport and crashed at the airport.
Okay. And so then when the PSI officer asked you how community supervision can help you, you told her that it would make your mind clearer.
Yeah, like 'cause I know not to. I don't even go out after, since I've been going through all this. So I know it's just a lot that I need to do, and it'll just have my mind straight. I can focus on my people, like work harder. You know what I mean? Don't make no dumb choices like that. That was dumb.
I think the question is, like, did you not learn that on the other 5 probations that you've been on?
Well, things happen. I'm not perfect. Things happen, Your Honor.
But I mean, Did you learn anything from all?
Yeah,
this?
of course. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I was successful on my last probation, besides the UAs.
Okay, and so that was another offensive fire, involving you firing a firearm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
and so I would beg to defer that you didn't learn much from that if you're here because you did it again. Wouldn't you agree with me?
Well, I had the right to carry. I wasn't a convicted felon,
Yeah.
right?
You got that right, yeah. Now, in your probation in 2018,
Yes, ma'am.
when the probation officer was monitoring you, they were monitoring your social media. Were you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so what they saw was that you were on Facebook Live smoking marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's while you're on probation.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it was also notated that you associate with multiple members of the criminal street gang blood, correct?
My big brother, I don't know, I don't want to put him out there, but it's not me. It's just my people.
It's just people that you associate
It's
with
just- Yeah,
are members of criminal street.
yes.
We pass the witness.
Any questions?
No, no further questions, Judge.
All right, any other witnesses, defense?
No, no, ma'am.
All right, the court will hear argument. State you're opposed.
Yes, Judge. Patient sentenced to 6 years in prison. Mr. Tochi did negotiate a very advantageous detail for this defendant. However, the reason that the state is opposed to his applications is due to the criminal history that I've just discussed with the defendant, which includes multiple felony probations where he was on felony probation, picks up a new felony charge, and that judge decides to continue him. He's picking up motions to revoke for continuing to use illegal substances and is continued as well, which I think leads to the problem of why we're here today. And he did notate that he's not a convicted felon, but I would beg to argue or submit that had the court done the right thing back then, he would have been sent to prison and been prohibited from carrying firearms, because it is clear by his demeanor, the things that were stipulated to and stipulated evidence, that he does not have the comportment for somebody that needs to be carrying a firearm.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to the court, you can face forward. Judge, he's never been compliant with his previous probations, and then if we're looking at the facts, what it was that he went over there with somebody that's not even his girlfriend to go confront someone that Tiffany Martinez, who's already been sentenced to 6 years in prison, went to go confront this girl that she thought was messing around with the father of her children. And they follow her to her own residence, they ambush her and assault her, and then he pulls out a firearm and fires it and places her in immense fear. And in PSI, she's also asking for this defendant to be sent to prison. And Judge, I just think that based on all of the evidence that is before you, that I am asking you to deny its application and send him to 6 years of prison.
All right, defense.
So, yeah, he's been on felony probation, Judge. I believe, if I read the PSI correctly, he did successfully discharge from it. Yes, he smoked marijuana. You know, the thing about Roger is, as the court, if the court was in tune, he's just not going to lie about that stuff. It would have been easy to say, no, I didn't smoke in 2020. It would have been easy to tell the PSI officer I didn't. Yes, he smoked marijuana while on probation back then. He probably smoked marijuana last year. Is he supposed to do that? No, of course not. But for what it's worth, Roger didn't lie about those things. And I know we've talked a lot. He can be successful on probation. It's in the PSI before you. The fact that he had one, I know doesn't bode well for him. But to say that he can't be successful on probation, to me, is just incorrect, because obviously he can. He does like to smoke marijuana. The court can address that issue. You know, the thing about talking about what happened that night is, don't take Roger's word for it. I mean, as an officer of the court, and I know the court hasn't had the benefit of reviewing all of the evidence in this case, but the complaining witness herself recorded a 911 call. She spoke to the initial arriving officers, and then she spoke later the next day with a detective. And I, as well as Ms. Galloway, have reviewed all that. And I will tell you, almost 90% of what Roger is telling you is confirmed by the complaining witness. The first thing she tells the officers is, when the girl gets there, she confronts her and she hits her in the mouth twice. And she even tells the officer, there's a cut. I'm not going to characterize as big or little, but, and she tells the police officers, the girl did this, not Roger. The next thing she says is Roger got out, and I am almost quoting, he separated us. He was trying to break up the fight. Those are the words of the complaining witness. She goes on to say that it did break up, and she is having probably a very heated, hostile dialogue with Mr. Mems. But she's trying to explain, I don't know who y'all are, and I am not sleeping with that girl's boyfriend. And in fact, she wasn't. And so Roger's kind of in this thing.
And where does the firing of the weapon come in?
Well, I'm getting to it, and I'll try to get to it a little quickly. But I think the context is very important. All Roger wants, Judge, is to get the hell out of there. He should never have gotten in that car. Tiffany's bad news. She's trouble. She's toxic. She is. Roger makes poor decisions, but you kind of heard how Roger grew up. And it's unfortunate that he did. And I don't know if he has PTSD. I've gotten to know him for about 1.5 years now. I can speak for him, and I understand and can see what happened in that moment. But in that moment, he's trying to create resolution. He gave her property back. He didn't want to assault her. He didn't want to rob her.
What are you saying? He returned property before they left?
There was property that was not taken, but property on the ground, laying around, Tiffany's purse, stuff strewn everywhere.
I mean, like the cell phone.
Cell phone. At some point, Roger had it. He provided it back to her. Ms. Galloway can address these issues, but I'm telling you as an officer of the court, this is what the evidence was. And she tells the police officers this. They're having a conversation. And Roger is having this conversation, trying to explain things, and it goes back and forth. And the two girls, not Roger, get back into another fight. And she articulates all that. And just keep in mind, all Roger wants is for this thing to end and to get out of there. And so to that end, and I believe she believes that Roger got involved. I believe she believes that. I personally do not believe that Roger went over there and struck her. And I can tell you this, none of the injuries, because you don't have the pictures and you don't have the benefit of the video. There is no way you can convince me that a girl was curb stomped the way I know curb stomping. Somebody's head is placed upon a curb. I mean, she has a cut on her lip right here. She does have a scrape on her knee, but she was in pajama bottoms rolling around on the street. She has no injuries whatsoever to indicate that that kind of injury was inflicted by anybody. And I'm telling the court, I don't believe Roger ever did that. I believe she believes Roger may have been striking her because she's on the ground rolling, pulling hair as she pulled it or described it. Roger comes over and tries to separate the girls. And he probably did put his hands on her, and he probably did push her or even throw both of them to the side. But I can tell the court in no way do I believe whatsoever that that ever occurred. But I do believe she believes it. And I know that she told the police officers that. But the vast majority of what she tells the officers in all three statements is Roger was peacemaker. I know that's crazy to believe or to understand, but this is one of the craziest factual scenarios I've ever encountered. At some point, Roger tells them, and the complaining witness even, again, mirrors this, that Roger told them, y'all stop fighting, I'm about to shoot this gun. She tells the police that, and she even tells the police that he fired the round in the air to get them to stop fighting. He wasn't trying to, I'm sure it was scary, I'm sure it was threatening, and she certainly did feel that way. But he was only trying to get them to stop. And that's how he did it. And to look at it now, it's dumb, it's dangerous. I understand that. But Roger, in that moment, just wanted this thing to end. And that is how he did it. He wasn't trying to scare or kill or hurt or rob anybody. He wanted these girls to stop fighting, to get in the car and get out of there. And that's finally what did it. And it's wrong, and he shouldn't have done it, and he shouldn't have had that gun. But in that moment, Roger wasn't there to rob or hurt anybody. I don't believe he did. And what the complaining witness says doesn't track entirely, but it tracks a lot of what you've heard today from Mr. Mems. He was trying to break them up. He really, truly was. She says that. He was only trying to stop the fight with the weapon. She says that. And then they got out of there. In the aftermath of it all, I can't tell you, they had a big crash, a major crash. And Roger has blood streaming down his face. They did what they did, but I can tell the court he had no intention of hurting her or robbing her. He should not have been there, and he should not have had a gun. Whether the court believes he should go to prison I will leave that to the court. Roger's biggest mistake was just getting in that car. He never should have. I wish I could give you an answer to that. I've asked him that question 100 times. That's what doesn't make sense to me. But he didn't get in the car with evil or criminality in his mind. He got injected into a situation, given his mental makeup and his life up to that point. I feel he did the best he possibly could, and thank God nothing worse happened. And the complaining witness corroborates a lot of what I'm saying. So don't take my word for it. She said the same thing. I'll defer to the court on the issue of probation. I understand how large of an ask this is, you know, for this court, for somebody with his history and the story you've just heard. So I hope the court can see through a lot of what looks really bad and get to the bottom line understanding of what Roger's role and conduct was. And I do think it deserves being on probation. He can survive probation. I've met his girlfriend. She's really nice. I've met those young men. They're the cutest little boys. Roger loves them. He is in a good spot now. Whether the court wants to keep him on his path is up to the court. If you want to put him in prison, then that is the court's determination. But that's all I have for now, Judge. I appreciate the court's time. I know I've taken a lot of it.
State.
Judge, I have a synopsis of the statement that was provided by the complainant in this case, but if I'm hearing the argument correctly, you know, that he was trying to be the peacemaker, but I respectfully disagree with that. And if we're looking at the vacuum of him discharging the firearm, it's kind of like they're trying to make like a self-defense argument, kind of, but it was not a justified use of the firearm. They are the ones that are provoking the difficulty. They are the ones that went to the victim's home. They are the ones that engaged the victim. And so I'm asking to deny his application and sentence him to 6 months.
And I just have one question.
Yes.
This accident that occurred afterward, was that due allegedly to speeding or something of that nature? And did that happen immediately after this?
Right away from the location, I think what was told by the defendant and co-defendant to the police was that the brakes went out, is what was told.
It would have happened a few miles away. I wouldn't say it was contemporaneous, but it happened over by the airport. The incident itself was a few miles from the airport. Tiffany was driving. I don't know the reason for the accident. It was a pretty big one. I don't know if that helps or hurts, but full.
No, I was just trying to,
I don't
figure
know.
that out.
It was a few miles away.
and I only asked because I believe defense in your argument, you brought up the accident. So I was just trying to figure out
Yeah.
the connection, if there is one,
There-
between this.
I
and the
don't believe
accident.
I don't believe there really is any connectivity. And I'll be clear with the court that this is not self-defense at all. I know it's not. There are no defensive issues here.
Okay,
It's just what happened, Judge.
all right, this is what the court is gonna do. Counts 4 and 5 will run concurrently. The court will find the defendant guilty of counts 4 and counts 5. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Yes, if the court is contemplating a term, Judge, obviously I would ask for something in the lower range of the term. Again, I really truly believe I know Roger had no intent on hurting her or robbing her.
Well, I mean, the lower range for this offense, I believe, is 5. Isn't this aggravated robbery?
But he entered, he was. There.
Could I see the paperwork again? I'm so sorry.
I believe it's between 2 and 6, Judge.
Yes, Judge, they're
All
both.
right. All right, thank you. I'm just trying to see what the police did.
It should be 3rd degrees.
Yes, I see here that it's counts 4 and counts 5.
Mr. Mems has never been to prison before.
Mhm.
I do think he had a very, very different role than the co-defendant who you assessed a 6-year sentence for. I do believe that Roger did make considerable efforts to try to alleviate that horrible situation. And I do believe that that does hopefully warrant some consideration from the court if you're going to assess a prison term.
All right, and state you're asking for? All right, and count four. Court will sentence you, I'm sorry, in counts four and counts five, the court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Tiffany Martinez or Bianca Gonzalez. Counts four and counts five will run concurrently. Is there anything else? You're welcome.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Did you review, wait, I'm sorry, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you. All right, do y'all have any objection to excusing juror number 36?